Desolate is the only word that comes to mind when describing a landscape such as this. And you might be asking yourself, John, why have you traveled all the way to the desert to go fishing? And although this landscape may seem void of life, even in the farthest corridors, hidden deep within the Texas desert, sometimes lies hidden oases teeming with natural life. Today, our goal is to somehow find a hidden oasis that very few anglers have ever attempted to fish. But first, we'll have to travel a little bit farther. Stopped off at the side of the road to show you something that is quite a rare sight. Something that a lot of people that live in climates like this and landscapes like this don't get the privilege to bear witness to. Water, not only water, but cool, flowing, crystal clear water. And in order to end up where we plan on fishing today, we'll have to follow this current to the source of where it is all starting, where it begins, the origin of what is essentially a roadside canal. So let's hop back in the truck and travel even further. We've made it to our destination, not our final destination, but at least one of them. We are at a state park, probably one of the farthest state parks out this way. And this is where I'm hoping to show you guys a fish that you've probably never seen before. It's a fish that is only found in this very waterway. Nowhere else in the entire world can you find this fish. And we're finally getting the chance to do it. We've officially found our hidden oasis. Welcome to San Solomon Springs. This place is majestic, to say the least. What you have here is a rare occurrence where there is literally a beautiful crystal clear spring in the middle of the desert. We are so far away from my home in Texas, about 7 hours southwest. And this is just about the only bit of life that is around. And I'm literally swimming in it. The cool thing about this spring is it exhibits two endangered fish species, one of which, the Comanche Springs pupfish, which I was just swimming with earlier. They're beautiful. The males kind of have a bluish hue to them, and they're such unique fish. They only get to be about 2 inches big, but they can only survive in climates like this, dry, arid climates, and they can tolerate a good amount of salinity, meaning they can tolerate a lot of salt in the water. Another fish in here that is also endangered and endemic to this area only is the Pecos gambusia. I've noticed the pupfish are a little more aggressive than the gambusia. They're kind of territorial, and in my opinion, they look a little bit prettier. But in this pool, you can also find some channel catfish, which I don't believe are native to here, but they are swimming around. And that is about it. There's like 3 species of fish that are swimming literally all around me as we speak. I actually am watching them eat my toes at the moment. The reason why I want to show you guys this place is not only because it's a stunning oasis nestled in the desert of Texas, but it is also a place where you can find some very rare fish species. It's so cool. I'm actually watching them right now eat little bits of algae. Unfortunately, we can't fish here. However, I've been told that right around the corner there is a place we can wet a line and potentially catch fish. Although I'm really enjoying this right now because the air temp is in the high 50s and this water stays a nice 72 something degrees year round, and it feels so good. I'm gonna swim with these pupfish a little bit longer, and we're gonna head out of here and try to catch some fish. Before I do a little bit of fishing, I wanted to see where this stream kind of flows out of. And I've stumbled upon another native, another local, although this time it's not a fish, it's a turtle. I'm not 100% sure what species this is, but I believe it's some sort of soft shell. He's very big. These guys look cute and friendly from a distance, but they have got quite a nasty bite, and they can be very agile. They got a long neck. They can reach around and grab you similar to a snapping turtle. But this is the same water that came from the spring or the pool that I was just swimming in, and somehow it even looks cleaner. I'm just in awe. Still some pupfish, still some more of those gambusia down there, some grass. It looks so stunning. It almost doesn't even look real as to how picturesque this is. And then right here we got a little bit of a waterfall where this continues on down. I tend to really gravitate towards destinations like this, where there's just something to be found that a lot of you guys may not see on an everyday basis. I know that I don't get to see this very often. I've traveled just about to every continent with the exception of Antarctica, and even a small little place like this in Texas has got my attention with a vice grip. Now the interesting thing is where does this water lead to? We've kind of followed the water from the road to the source. Now I'm curious as to where it goes, and I believe that is where we're going to end up next to hopefully do a little bit of fishing. I believe I've found what I've been looking for. The sun is just now rising over the mountaintops, and it is looking like it's going to be a beautiful day, especially because we have found where the Solomon Springs dumps into. And it just so happens that there is a lake. The fact that there's even springs out here is quite surprising, let alone an entire lake. Now, last night when I was on Google Maps, I was looking, I'm like, I gotta find a place to fish. You can't fish in the state park, obviously, because it's full of endangered pupfish. So I, was scouring around, and much to my surprise, I just kind of followed the current and the outflow of the Solomon Springs, and it led me here. This is Lake Balmorhea, and it is the farthest lake I think I've ever fished in Texas. The closest body of water other than this one is roughly 200 something miles away. The water looks beautiful. I did bring my boat with me. I'm sure you guys have been seeing me trailer that around, and I kind of brought it just on the off chance that we might find something like this. And we're gonna see if maybe there's any possible way I could put my boat in this quite sizable body of water and hopefully catch some fish here in a place where most people don't even think that fish even live. Wow, this place feels very desolate. It's practically a ghost town. It is a weekday, so there's probably not going to be too many people fishing, especially in a town this small. Stunning view though. I feel like I'm fishing a lake in Mexico. Reminds me of Comedero or maybe Cuchillo. And to be honest, we're not that far from Mexico, probably another hour's drive just straight that way, and we'd be in a different country. I think we have to pay a fee to fish this place. It is a public lake, but it's privately owned, so you have to pay a launch fee. Seems like the tackle store's closed. Would have been cool to go in here and see what kind of gear they have. Self-pay, $7 per person. That's not too bad. Okay, well, I'm gonna go pay this fee. We're gonna drop the boat in the water. I'm excited. I don't know what this place is gonna fish like. It's gonna either be probably really tough or could be good. I might be surprised. I cannot believe how just eerie it feels, in a good way, rather. I know eerie is used oftentimes as a negative, but it's eerie in kind of a peaceful way. Maybe peaceful is a better word, better adjective to describe this, but there's just nothing. No planes, you don't hear any trains. I'm so used to fishing DFW lakes where usually you're in a line to launch your boat, but I don't think anybody's fishing today. It's empty, completely empty. Well, let's put the boat in the water, see if there's any fish living in that lake. Real quick, before we take the Lund and drop it in this stunning desert lake, I want to let you guys know that this weekend, November 28th, I'll be hosting a massive online fishing garage sale on the Whatnot app. If you guys aren't familiar with Whatnot, I've been using it for a little over a year now, and they actually reached out to sponsor today's video. Whatnot is an app where you can essentially buy, sell, and even auction off collectibles, fishing lures, clothing, you name it, hence the name Whatnot. And this weekend, I'll be going even bigger on Black Friday Live, the biggest live shopping event of the year, where you'll find some of the best deals live on Whatnot. And the coolest part about the stream that I'm gonna be hosting this weekend is everything starts at $1. That means spinning reels, casting reels, rods, big swim baits, JDM lures, everything starts at $1, giving you guys a chance to get some sweet deals on fishing tackle. And during the auction, I'm gonna be running my biggest giveaway ever, where a lucky buyer will receive a Shimano Interes Monster Drive XG with a custom handle. This is one of my favorite reels ever, and one of you guys will be walking home with it for free. And if you sign up using my link, you'll get $15 to spend on the Whatnot app or during my show. Be sure to save the date, November 28th. I'm gonna be having a bunch of stuff for sale. Not only that big giveaway, but also some smaller ones as well. So click the link, sign up for Whatnot today, and I'll see you guys there. Look at this place. How impressive is this? Wow. I suppose if not for the springs, this would not be here. This is a part of Texas that just does not get rain, and that's putting it lightly. I know very little about this place. I kind of just put it on my radar as of last night, and I wasn't even sure if I was gonna be able to put a boat in here, but here we are. The Lund is afloat. I'm gonna start off with something finessey. There's a lot of stick-ups in this body of water, so I'm gonna fish in it. And the first thing I'm gonna throw is a little 3/8 ounce Guggen swim jig with a dangle minnow on the back. All right, I think I might have found where the springs dump into the lake. Look how much cleaner this is. That murkiness right there is the clarity and turbidity of the main lake, but this is all super clean. There's a bit of a channel right here. So I'm gonna hop off the boat, venture on foot, and see what I can see. Let's pull the boat up on the sand real quick so she doesn't go anywhere while I'm gone. Oh, there she goes. Rig up some twigs and get after it. Wow, that's pretty. I'm trying not to spook these fish. Oh, there's some fish rising right there. Oh, some little bass. There's a bunch of little fish over here. Oh, got one. Come on, fish on. Yes, no way. My first South Texas largemouth bass. Just had to find the cool running water from the spring in order to get bit. Nothing huge by any means, but beggars cannot be choosers out in these parts. There we have it. Stunning little creature. Hopefully one day he grows up to be big and giant. But for now, we send him back. Later. Weird to see like a spot with moving water that dumps into a bigger lake out here. And it looks like there's a lot of fish in here. Maybe nothing too big, but only one way to find out. Oh, got another one. It's full of little bass. Full of little bass. Oh my goodness. 2 casts, 2 fish. Absolute monsters. He's smaller than the first one somehow. Send him back. Oh my gosh, there's so many. There's like hundreds of little bass in here. I just watched them all swarm on my bait. Oh, as soon as it hit the water. Another little squeaky. Just throwing crappie baits for micro largemouth. Can't always catch giant fish. It's fun to slow things down and fish a unique body of water like this. Another squeak, send them back. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe how many little bass are in here. Another one. Little tiny pip squeaks. One after another, after another, after another. Fish number 4. Just in this little tiny pool. Unreal. Send him back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This pool is quite literally infested with bass. I wish they were just a little bit bigger. If they were like a pound, this would be a lot of fun. There we go. Oh, they're like trout the way they jump. He was in the current. It's a little bit better. It's about the same size as the first one I caught. Ah, they're really gorgeous in here. They got unbelievable colors and striations. Look at the pattern on him. He's so pretty. I've never seen a more perfect bass before. All right, one more, and let's walk on back, see if I can see anything on the way down. I mean, it is every cast in this whole pool. It's actually insane. It's as if these fish have never seen a bait before. Another one. Oh, they're leaping like trout. This is so funny. I mean, if I had to guess, there's probably 100 of these fish down here. Nothing bigger than the one that I've got on the end of my line. Okay, well, I think I've got my micro bass fix. Nice little way to start the morning. We have successfully caught a fish in the desert, but I'm gonna walk the creek back, see if I see anything in the shallower bits. But one thing I also want to point out too before we leave, which is actually kind of nuts, I'm thinking about it. These bass are stuck here. Take a look at this. So right there is a nice drop off. It's too high for any fish to go up and over at the moment. And then of course right there is where that channel ends, where we've been filming on the way up to the Solomon Springs. So they can't go up there either. So these fish are effectively stuck and dedicated to living in this pool until there's a good rain. Wow, just a tiny little ditch. There's one. You drop it. He's got it. Got him. There we go. First fish of the day, hopefully, or it's a good one. There we go. Found one in the main lake. Just had to really slow things down. Look how fat and chunky this little guy is. Oh, he's cold too. This water's freezing. Not as big as I hoped, but much bigger than the fish we were catching in the creek. Caught that guy on a little, actually a big 6-inch lunker log. Nice little bass. You could tell these fish look like South Texas bass. Almost looks like a Mexico fish. He's pale, he's wide, and he's chunky. Send him back. Thanks, little dude. Back in the water he goes. Oof. All right, well, working our way up in the world. Not bad. This is what I'm throwing right now. This water is fairly cold. We're fishing into winter right now. It's mid-November, and from my knowledge, fish down south, whether it be far south Texas or even Mexico, they don't like the cold weather. So I'm slowing things down. I'm throwing a 6-inch Texas rigged lunker log. This is like the Donna of this lure right here. Is the go-to when it comes to fishing southern lakes like this that are muddy, that are rocky, that are shallow. I don't know, it's such an effective way to catch them. Cranking can be good too, but I cranked a good bit on this rock and I had no bites. And I just now started to drag this worm around on this rock and I got a bite. So I'm gonna stick with this for a little bit longer. It was a good bite. It wasn't super soggy. Wasn't like that fish wasn't very aggressive. I mean, he ate it pretty good. And I don't know if you can see, but this whole bank is rock, and that rock extends out to the water to where I, obviously can't see it. So I just kind of scanned it with my down imaging in my boat, found the rock, pushed off a little bit, and now we're dragging it. Fish. There we go, another one. Another one. Maybe a little bit better. Ooh, they fight hard in here. Another one. I may be figuring something out. Wow. Oh my gosh. I think there's some good genetics in this lake. Look at that fish. He's plump. Holy smokes. Short and stocky. This looks like a Mexico bass. This literally looks like a Mexico bass. I cannot believe that. Always good to look down their throat, see if they have anything in there. I don't see any shad, I don't see any bluegill, I don't see any craws. Officially bass number 2. I guess we could count those little creek fish, but they were a little too small for my liking. But this is a little bit better. But I want you guys to take a look at this fish. Look at the build. This is, if I had to guess, not your run-of-the-mill ordinary strain of largemouth. I'll show you guys an example of what I'm talking about. This is effectively an F1 fish that I caught last year right around the same time in a completely different lake. And this fish has the similar characteristics. Very big, knotty head, thick tail, and of course a giant belly. Despite it not being a very long fish, this fish could be very young, maybe only a year or change old. Time for the release. Let's send old Stinky back. Thanks for biting, little dude. I want your bigger cousin. There's some characters out this way. I love the, and then you get nothing back. Oh, man, that hurts. That's smarts. We might be past that part of Texas where folks even wave back. I don't know. The southern hospitality is too southern. Direct eye contact, too. Just the guy looked at me like I had 3 heads. Oh, standard for the remote parts, that's for sure. Texas desert lake done kicked my butt. And although I didn't come here with much expectation at all, I didn't even know if there was a lake here to begin with, I would have at the very least liked to have a little bit better fishing day. However, key point, we did manage to catch some fish in a lake that I'm not too sure is very fishy. But as you guys can notice, we are back on dry land, thankfully, because it got pretty nasty out there. That bite that I was on that I kind of figured out earlier in the day seemed to kind of fizzle and die off due to the fact that our 1 mile per hour winds turned into more like 15 or 20. And I was really excited because I had 2 back-to-back bites amongst a couple others, but that wind made it very difficult to throw this light 8-ounce weight with a 6-inch lunker log. Threw the crankbait a good bit along the dam. I fished with the wind, I fished in the wind, I fished away from the wind, and no other fish. But here's the silver lining. We made it all the way down here. I got a chance to see something I never really got to see before. That includes this crazy, weird lake. We also got to visit the little pupfish, the endangered pupfish, and swim in the San Solomon Springs. Overall, it was a really amazing experience. I don't think I've ever been to anything like this before. I'm peacing out, signing out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. As always, folks, keep fishing, never stop.